Welcome back, everybody, to the Magnetico podcast. I'm Jason. I'm here with my boy Carolina Sin. What's good?
What's happening? Well, that's such a smooth intro. It's so smooth.
And you are listening to the 1,322nd now ranked podcast globally for sports in the world. This episode is brought to you by BetMGM, where betting is made simple. I made that line up for them. So, what's good?
Yeah, what's happening? I'm good, man. I'm feeling refreshed. I just came back from a cruise. I'm really good.
You came back from a cruise. I'm preparing to go on a cruise.
Yes, sir.
My first one, though, so I've been getting some pointers from you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. People, it's one of those things I say people either love it or hate it. So
I can't see where I'm gonna hate it. I'm not. I always kind of felt like I didn't want to be where I can't get off. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people, have that.
But I ain't never done it, so I don't know that I'll be that way. And then when I was talking with Donna, like usually anytime I've went on a 7-day, 10 days, the longest kind of vacation that I've ever done. After like 3 or 4 days, I was ready. So it's gonna be interesting.
Like ready to go home.
Yeah, like I'm done.
But this one was the longest. This was a 7-day. I've done a 6-day, but the rest have been 4 and 5 days, right? And after the 5th day, I was like, I wonder if this is too long. You know what I mean? But we weren't partying either. Like I'm old now. You know what I'm saying? I'm old now, so you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know that I could. I don't know. I guess it depends on if you're going like in May. I'm going with a big group. I will probably wish that one was longer. You know what I'm saying? Right. So. I think that matters too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to be snowing when we leave, so that's kind of wild.
That's dope.
Leave on
and y'all leaving out of New York, right?
Out of Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
So we had a big trade in the NBA we got to discuss before we get into this Super Bowl.
Oh man!
So what is your initial takeaway from this Luka and
AD
highbrow guy?
You know, I was shocked that it happened. I was shocked just like everybody else was shocked. My first instinct was that this is really good for Dallas. Like that was my first reaction. I don't know if it will be good for LA, right? But I think they will work better together than Luka and Kyrie did because they both need the ball in their hands all the time. I don't feel like AD needs the ball in his hands all the time, but the offense can go through him when he's having a good night. He's kind of streaky with those good nights, right? And Kyrie, I feel like he has no problem with having it in his hands. You know what I mean? And with him being a shooting point guard or whatever, I think it might work. I think it might work really well for them. Luka plays no defense, so now they get an all defensive player in the front court. So for them, I think it's great. The LA part of it, we're gonna see. Like a lot of people are speculating LeBron's gonna get traded soon. So it does give them a centerpiece for the future, but they're definitely gonna have to put some defensive players around him.
Yeah, that was my first initial thing. LeBron and him together, not the strongest defensive two guys on the court. But what do you make of? I've read that Kyrie wants out now. He's asking to be traded.
No, I hadn't seen that. Yeah. So, we've talked about it. Basketball unwatchable to me at this point. Yeah. So I'm not. I'm really. I do watch the stories, like the ESPN stories and the Fox or the FS Sports stories and stuff like that. But I'm not watching games to be like. It's just a different. Call me old head. I'm the old head that like how they were in football and they're just like, oh, put skirts on them now, like da da da, right? Like basketball, like then they changed the rules so much to make it easier to play. They add in steps.
That's crazy.
Can carry now. You can swipe off on offense. I'm just like, of course they're better players now. They got the rules are easier for. You know what I'm saying? You remember? I don't know. I always think about this. that you remember when you see like kids learning how to play, right? Like in rec league, like 5, 6, 7 year olds, right? And they don't, and like when they're starting off, they don't call them for like double dribbles.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's just what the league did. They just
yeah,
made it easier to play. You know what I mean?
facts. Yeah.
So
That and all the 3-pointers and, just not playing
right.
team basketball is kind of hard to watch. But what do you think if the Lakers do trade LeBron, which I think they should? If you're getting a
Oh, they definitely should.
25-year-old Luka, you should trade LeBron, get some draft picks, get some, a couple other players to complement Luka moving forward. But where do you see a trade for LeBron? Because the only way he's going to go is if he goes to a contender. So where do you think a good landing spot?
I don't necessarily know that. Like I don't know. Like that's the initial thought process. I
But he's
think
got
he
to have
wants to go somewhere where he's comfortable.
he's got to
Right?
have a trade clause, right?
Oh yeah, he's not going anywhere that he don't
Yeah.
want to go.
Come
I
on.
was gonna say that at first, right?
Yeah.
But he may go somewhere that he just wants to be,
Yeah.
right? Like he may go to New York because all the Dylans they have and stuff. He may go back to Cleveland. What if they told him you can come back to Cleveland, have a farewell tour, bring your son with you, and then start his legacy because he is getting better. Like he's not NBA better. He's dominating in the G League. Like he's dropping like 30 on him now in the G League and stuff where he wasn't doing it. I think he had to shake the coming in, everybody hating on him, being nervous and stuff. He's still trash when he plays for the Lakers.
Yeah.
But if you told me come back to Cleveland for 2 years or 1 year with a possible 2-year extension, depending on how you feel, we're going to give you the grandest of farewell tours possible. And you can bring your son and we'll sign him to a 5-year or something like that, right? And you're talking about he gets to go home, end it there, and have because as much as he acts like he don't like it, he talks about he's the one that called himself the greatest. He's the he wants this farewell tour. He wants a bigger farewell tour than Kobe got. That would work. Or he'll go somewhere where he can do big. But you want him as a contender, but you don't want to invest that kind of money.
Yeah.
For him to be your third option, maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting, Tate, you saying Cleveland. Cleveland is 40-9 this year, number one team in the East. I don't know that
true.
They got the packages and the draft picks and everything.
But they don't. Yeah, but I think LA gives him what he wants. Right? I think if they get a key, solid role player, like because you got to think he's retiring in a year. Like there is value in him because he's box office, right? He's going to sell tickets, but there's not no upside to getting him when he might not play 2 years from now.
Well, I'm going to push back on that one because there's two teams that I'm thinking about that I could see him going to and contributing and getting
and helping them win.
And helping them win. And as one, don't want to necessarily see this, but I think he could go to Golden State.
Yeah, that's been tossed around.
They're on the bubble. They're at like 11th in the West right now. But the team that I want to see him go to, I want to see him go to the San Antonio Spurs. I think that's the best fit right now for him. Go put him with Wemby.
I can see that.
Put him on.
That's one of those places where I'm like, he could go to where he wants to go to, though.
Right, if he wanted to.
Like him and Pop have a great relationship. You know what I mean? And that would be a great spot if he was like, can we put Bronny on the G League team for the Spurs? He'd probably love to have him come up in a fundamental system under Pop. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it would be easier on Bronny as a guard throwing it to Wemby. You know what I'm saying? So
that part.
Like the pressure wouldn't be like when Kyrie goes somewhere where you got to be the man as the guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Chris Paul, Wemby, and LeBron,
right.
that'd be nice. I mean, I think that would be a situation where, because like right now he goes to Cleveland, They're in the lead in the East. I don't think the Lakers are just gonna give them away.
But that's why I think it will work because he could help. He could help that team.
Yeah, but at the
And wouldn't
moment, do they need
wouldn't
him?
have the pressure. Yeah, but he wouldn't have. That's what I'm saying though. That's the good, like no pressure for that though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you could help, and you know what I mean. It's just a boost. There's no downside to it on that, unless it just messes up the team chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But he's gonna if he goes to like a Golden State or like a team that is a real contender that's not Cleveland, they're gonna KD him.
yeah.
Because this will be fifth trade, 15. Like you know what I mean? Like if you count Cleveland twice, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be like, here he goes, mercenary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Because
interesting.
do you give him credit for Chip if he goes to like Golden State or somewhere and they win one and he's not like let's not get twisted for 41 or whatever he is. Like dude is doing insane things on a basketball court.
I mean, I guess to answer your
But he's
question,
obviously tired.
like if he went to a team like what I said, the Spurs, a team that's outside the playoffs right now, or even a team like Sacramento or Phoenix, like the teams that, as long as they don't go to a OKC or Memphis, or
Right,
the
right,
teams that are
right,
the Celtics, the Knicks,
right, right, right.
and that he's trying to get that last one, which I can't blame
Yeah,
him for that.
right.
Yeah, I just feel like it. I don't want to see him chase a title. I'll give him a pass on the Cleveland just because I never thought when I looked at the stats Cleveland would be in the lead of the East right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'd give him a pass. Like I said, if we went to San Antonio or Cleveland, but if he went to one of the, like you said, if he went to the Celtics or something,
yeah,
like, come on.
I mean, he's always said he wanted to play in New York too.
That's why I said New York could be one of the places where he just wants to go.
It's just interesting to see what teams are gonna, because the Lakers, if they do this, they got to get something out of it. They got to. I think the Spurs have a lot of draft picks from what I heard, so that may be. But it's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm just saying, there's only so much he's gonna get. Like I know it's weird talking about it because it's LeBron,
Yeah,
but like you're not getting 3 years out of him,
right. Yeah, you got him for a year or two, and that's it.
right?
And now, so you agree that Bronny's got to be part of this,
Um,
right? Because
I mean that it follows it tracks based on every other decision they've made. Like, I'm just saying it based on how they've been operating so far,
yeah.
right? Like I can't imagine he just leaves them in L.A.
And what a damn call from GM for Dallas. They got new ownership because old boy's kind of stepped back a little bit. He's still a
Right,
hard
right.
owner, Cuban. But, for a GM to come out and look at it and look at the future and look at what they're going to have to pay Luka and be like, this ain't it.
From what I understand though, Luke and them they haven't been getting along.
Yeah, but
Like they
the
don't.
man just bought a $15 million house like in the last week in Dallas.
Sell it.
Yeah. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
The fact that they didn't tell anybody,
That
you know
part.
what I'm saying? They didn't tell anybody. Like the Lakers do. They called. So apparently they called the coach and AD at the same time. Like Rob Pelinka called the coach and AD at the same. What's JJ? Called JJ and AD at the same time. Then called. I don't think LeBron was the next call. Then he called somebody else. Then called LeBron. Like.
Yeah, I saw Lucas shared his text message. Like the GM was texting him at like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. I'm like, now you got to get this done doing normal business.
There were like games going on. Like I think LeBron was in New York. Maybe I think they were playing, and then like they were out to dinner. Like they got KD's reaction on the bench at the end of a game. That. You know what I mean? Like it's just I will say this. There is another subject that basketball wise I want to talk about when we get into it. But It's gonna be interesting. I think Dallas got the best out of it though.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
I think
I love Luka, but I mean he don't play no defense. That you he like the it's back when James Harden started playing defense after everybody talked about it. But that's what you're just getting all scoring.
Yeah. I'm with Charles Barkley. I don't think Luka and LeBron can play together.
No, absolutely not.
I don't see it. So
No.
I think the writing's on the wall. I'm not sure exactly when the trade deadline is. But yeah, I think something's coming up here soon with LeBron, so we'll stay tuned to that. Let's jump into the Super Bowl. It's like I predicted, the Chiefs versus the Eagles. Everybody up here is going to Eagles, man. Everybody like.
No, I'm Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm the same. Even the Giants fans up here, you wouldn't think they would be rooting for the Eagles, but I guess because of Barkley, they want to see him win or whatever. But
I will say this: like, there's not been a three-peat, and that's part of the reason why. But I have always been. You remember me talking about this? Like, I was high on Patty when he came out of college after I watched because I watched him in college a few games. I don't know why I caught their games for whatever reason. And then I watched the little, John Gruden used to do off-season quarterback sessions with the new QBs coming in and watching him interact with Gruden. I was like, man, there's just something special about this kid. I told people, like, he's going to be really good. But I want to see a three-peat. I want to see, like, and then Patty might be, like, at that point, him and Brady 1A and 1B and you might could go either way. You know what I'm saying? And then Joe moves into the third spot. But I do think it's that the Eagles might win because like it's hard to win 3 in a row.
It's a toss-up game.
It's never been done. You know what I mean?
It's a toss-up. ESPN stat trackers got 56.1% right now going for the Eagles to 43.9 for the Chiefs. If you look at the stats of both teams, the Eagles got a lot better stats as far as like points allowed, rushing defense, passing. Like I think maybe the Chiefs got them on passing yards by a little bit when I was looking, but if you're an analytical guy on paper,
the Eagles are 8 out of 10. Like the Chiefs got coaching and QB play,
and that's the most important.
right. But it's the QB part is the intangible stuff, right? Like Patty's been there, like he knows how to win. But on paper, it's not a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, but then you got Coach Reed. That could be the deciding factor.
Yep. I told everybody
it's gonna be interesting.
I told everybody last week to go to BetMGM and place their bets early before any kind of movement on the lines. It's still at 1.5 Chiefs, -1.5. The over-under is 48.5. I'm leaning right now. I said it last week. I'm leaning right now on Kansas City Chiefs taking the 1.5 because very rarely do you win by 1 in the NFL. And the over-under, but I'm going to over.
I'm thinking under.
You thinking
I'm
under?
thinking it's gonna. Right. I think they're gonna be so dialed in, concentrating.
Yeah.
That it's not going to be the shootout that we think it
in
be.
The playoffs were scored though. A lot of points. It was kind of like.
But they get an extra week to prepare. Like
neither one of them got a killer defense though.
I'd be happy for Saquon though. Like after everything that happened, they treated him like second rate in New York. Like the fans loved him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the GM, like how you get rid of him over the quarterback and then re-sign the quarterback to a higher amount of money and then he goes there and has like this resurgence. That's top tier. I'd be happy for Saquon.
Yeah.
Because running backs don't get no love. They're disposable because they shelf life them 4 or 5 years,
And we know what the game plan for Philly is gonna be. They're gonna try to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, running with Barkley. So it could be a low-scoring game, just depending on what happens. If Kansas City can get out early, it's going to take Philly out of their game, and then ain't no telling what's going to happen. And they got a great quarterback as well. the Chiefs, I said this last week on the show, the coaching by the Chiefs is stellar. I think Andy Reid, this is his 6th Super Bowl. I think he's won 3. 6th appearance.
I mean, and he took Philly, right? Because T.O. had broke his leg that year, and they lost to Brady, I think. They lost to Brady in the. I went to that one.
You went to the Super Bowl?
It was in Jacksonville that year. I'm pretty sure
went to the game?
Yeah.
You went in the stadium?
Yes.
How the hell you get tickets?
So, Marlon, who was a bail bondsman in Bartow, his underwriter for the bonds was a PA company, and they had box seats. Okay. So they invited some of their best performers to go, and so we had tickets. Right. We had the passes where we could get. Because the funny story is Clinton and Bush was there. They was on some goodwill tour type of thing, and we had the passes where we could just go wherever we wanted, and we was going through the corridor, and they were moving them from one part of the stadium to the other, and there was these guys in these big gorillas in these suits and stuff. We walked, and one was like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, you're gonna have to wait here a few minutes or whatever," and we were. I don't know if you cuss on this podcast, but we was messed up, and we was like, "We ain't got the passes." We was just, and he was like, "I understand, gentlemen, but for the next few minutes, nobody's coming through here." You know what I'm saying? And we was like, "What?" We was like, and you know how back then,
kind of like Jason.
That sin I still thought I was that dude back then. You know what I'm saying? But these were monsters, right? And we're like, ah. But he gave us this look that was like, if you take another step forward, I'm about to end your life or something, right? Then we see them move, walk through, and then they finally was like, "All right, gentlemen, you're free to pass," or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was cool. We met Will Smith was there with his oldest boy and stuff like that. So it was dope.
I never knew that. That's kind of I looked at the tickets this year. The cheapest ticket was $5,800 for this year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's probably in the standing room area.
I ain't never gonna pay something like that. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. But we're both on the same page. Kansas City Chiefs. We want to see greatness. Plus, I feel like on the cruise, there are gonna be so many people. There are gonna be so many Eagle fans. There are gonna be so many.
Bro, there was Bills fans everywhere on this cruise.
I bet.
Bill, I saw a couple Chiefs fans. We talked to but there were Bills fans everywhere. It was just crazy.
He needs to get out of Buffalo.
Yeah. Where Cole at, by the way?
Cole said he's gonna win the MVP.
Maybe they've given it to people who ain't deserved it before.
He's a good quarterback, man. You can't
he right. He is. He one of them ones that just can't win it.
Lamar, but they've run it into greatness, and that's another reason we're both rooting for Kansas City is because we want to see the greatness. And everybody hating on Kansas City, people hating on for the wrong reason. That play I talked about it last week, where I don't know if you've seen it, but Kelsey
did get the first down though.
Yeah, Kelsey goes across the middle. And he runs towards the defender as the guy's coming across. And it was like he was going to set the pick, which would be illegal, but kind of got out of the way at the last. Just a savvy veteran move.
Right.
I'm predicting Kelsey to have a big game this Super Bowl.
3 touchdowns.
He's going out. He's going out in style.
I think he retires too.
I think he retires.
I thought that when we started talking about it, I was like, oh, yeah, he's ready.
Yeah.
He's booed up too.
Yeah.
He go out on top.
Can't blame him.
He gonna be at every Taylor Swift concert. He gonna be Oprah Stedman at this point. You know what I mean?
So me and you were old heads. I don't think the general watching public of the Super Bowl is really going to care too much about who's performing at halftime. But I need to get.
I do.
I got to get your take on this. Because there's lawsuits going on and everything with the record labels.
Drake about to sue everybody at the Grammys. Did you see what happened last night?
I saw a little bit. What happened?
So when he won one of his Grammys,
Kendrick
right?
or
Yeah,
Dre? Okay,
for
Kendrick.
Kendrick, for Not Like Us. They're playing Not Like Us as he's walking up to it. And then they get to the A minor part and like the whole building sings it. Like the whole building sings. I'm about to send you a clip. Uh, it's almost, it was so loud I had to re-listen to it to see if the DJ dropped it and he didn't, but it was that loud that they were just like, "Hey minor."
So what happens at the Super Bowl? Does he play the line?
I don't know that he plays it. I don't know that he does it.
He's gotta
I
play the song.
I think if he does, it gets one of the biggest pops ever. Like that's what they like in wrestling. That's what they call a pop, right? Like it was like Stone Cold shows up out of nowhere. It's a pop, right? Like the crowd goes crazy, right? So if he does play it, I think it gets one of the biggest pops ever. But I mean, if you suing now, I'm like, listen, if I'm Kendrick, I play it. You know how I am.
Okay,
I start out the Super Bowl with that.
Okay,
or I end it.
He's definitely playing the song. Some way,
I don't know.
it may be a snippet of it'll come in. I see dead people. It may, and then he's playing the song. But my question is, does he do the line? That's
the A minor part.
The A minor part. Like, will he do?
I would
part?
be. Listen, let me tell you. He did the LA concert, right? And they played that song like 10 times back to back. Dre came out and did the "I see dead people" part. I would be happy if Kendrick just came out and did that song 5 times and walked off stage. Like
I told Donna last night, I was like, this man won a song of it. Cause she said to me, she goes, because it was Beyonce, it was that the rapper country guy that on the bar getting tipsy.
Oh yeah, Shabuzi.
That
Shabuzi.
song. It was Beyonce. It was somebody else real popular.
He won 5 Grammys last night.
Yeah, the sweep. But like when she was like,
Drake has won 5 his whole career, by the way.
Yeah. And she was like, "Is that really the best song of the year?" I was like, "It's definitely the most popular." Definitely.
So that's right. So that's where we have to define things, right? Like we talk about, like I talk about it as an artist all the time. Like, am I successful? And I'm like, I'm not monetarily successful, right? And that's what some people gauge is like, how many did you sell? How much money did you make? I'm successful in the fact that anybody that listens to my music is like, yo, this is dope. Like, why are you not on the radio instead of anybody else? Right. You know what I mean? So, it was easily the most successful song, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then popular, like you said, does that mean it was the best song? I mean, that's subjective. Probably some people would say, I love the Shabuzi song. He didn't get no love at the CMAs either. So, but like I love it. I hate when people say it's a remake of Jaquan's Tipsy. Now they did give him credits for it because they used like that. They used like one bar and 2 cadences from that, but it's a completely different song, right? You know what I mean? Like it's not like a remix of it or any, but that's what everybody calls it. I'm like, no, but yeah, Not Like Us. I mean, everywhere, black, white, Indian, Asian, Spanish, everybody singing that song.
Yeah. Who does he bring out? Because I know Kendrick Lamar. I know his music. I don't know all of his music. Like I'm sure he's gonna play some songs that I don't even know. But
he's already confirmed that SZA's coming out with him. They've done a couple songs together. As far as if there's gonna be like surprise guests, it's tough. I also think the biggest troll, like the biggest thing of the world, would be he's got songs with Drake. Like I think it would be poetic, ironically, because they got a song with that entire but it'd be poetic if Drake came out and did a song with him and they squashed their beef.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That'd be I just
think that'd happen, but
I think when we talk about, because we talk about music a lot separately from these sports shows, I think that would go down as one of the biggest moments in hip hop history ever if it happened.
Yeah.
Like they would. I mean, I think Kendrick and Drake are a part of hip hop story if you had to tell it anyways. But like that would go down as a top 3, top 5 biggest moments in hip hop history if they were able to do that. And I think it would blow numbers out of the water for replays on YouTube and everything else. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking like billions of streams of that. Like I think if Drake came out and it wasn't just for like 10 seconds, that the viewership would jump just from people texting everybody like, "Oh, he brought Drake out." You know, like I think it would be crazy.
I don't think Drake's ego can allow that.
Nah, like if he hadn't sued him, I would have thought. He didn't sue Kendrick, but he sued Universal Music Group for them pushing that and stuff, which is
crazy.
The softest move ever. Like it's a good business move. I ain't gonna lie, it is a good business move, but soft because it just makes you look like you're mad about the diss song. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. I mean, there's no other way around it. That's exactly what it is.
So when we have a colorism problem in the black community, and they make dark skin, light skin jokes all the time. Drake is the king. It used to be DJ Envy, because you know I can't stand it. Well, Drake is the king of light skins now when it comes to that.
Oh my goodness!
like you blacker than Drake at this point. Listen, world, these are just jokes, you know.
And he's Canadian.
Beat My Mama's got a disclosure. I just want to just make a point out. I'm just playing, y'all. Like you might not like the jokes, but I'm just playing, y'all.
I'm glad I'm not on social media because I can only imagine what the NFL fans are going to be saying. Who the hell is this? Like because I've seen it for so many years. And
oh yeah, like the every time it's a hip hop artist, you see, and I see memes and they show like, and I'm not trying to bring anything up, but like it always looks like the stereotypical worst case scenario, like MAGA type supporters, right? Like that, like
the extreme,
right? The extreme, like the like, because I watch videos like when they go to those rallies and on both the left and right side, and they interview the most idiotic people on both sides to try and paint that picture. But that's the picture that you think of when you see all those comments on the internet about when rappers are performing at the.
Yeah, I know how you cannot see it. Just stay off the internet.
I'm all for. Like, but who do we get that? Like in pop culture, rap is so strong, right? Like a country artist, you know, and I love all genres of music, but I'm like, who do you get that's gonna? That pop is what we're talking about, and hip hop has that more, right? Like it's a party thing. Like, who do you get from another genre that could create that kind of buzz right now?
Yeah, there's
like I could see Jelly Roll doing the Super Bowl
eventually. Yeah,
right. Like in another couple, like I could be like, I mean, I could see Jelly Roll being picked next year, type of thing, right?
Like I just country's pretty popular now. I could see like Morgan Wallen, and you know,
I could see Morgan Wallen.
You know those, and then you bring out Chris Stapleton, Morgan Wallen. Like there's a Jelly Roll. Like you could do on the country end right now. It's kind of
you'd have to have, and there are plenty. Like I love country music, but you've got to have. They got to play their upbeat songs, right? Because and the same with like R&B. Like, that's why they picked, like, Rihanna, right? Like, you can't have somebody on there singing ballads at halftime and everybody wanting to chill out. You know what I mean? And that's the issue you have with country, and then, like real, like, singers. Like, it's just tough. You know what I mean? To have them, hip-hop just has the bounce to it to keep the party going, right? And there are country songs that do. But do you have a country artist that has enough in their discography to do, like, there's gonna be people listening to me. They're gonna be like, yeah, so and so, right? But then are they big enough too, at that point, to be on that stage. Like we said, Not Like Us was everywhere.
Yeah.
So even if you don't listen to hip hop music, when that song goes off, you're gonna know it.
Right.
You don't find that. You don't find that as much in other genres. I'd love to see, like, I'm just trying to think. Can you think of, like, who would be 3 or 4 people that were not rappers that would be fire to watch?
I mean, it would have to be pop artists. I mean, there's no rock
Right,
and
like
roll.
I could see Taylor doing it.
Yeah, there's no rock
Did Taylor
and roll.
do the Super Bowl already? Didn't Taylor do the Super Bowl?
I don't know, and I don't think NFL.
I think she did.
Did she?
Didn't she do it a few years ago?
Katy Perry did, and I don't think Taylor did.
I know Katy Perry did.
I don't know.
But that's why, like, when they had The Weeknd, they had Bruno Mars, like, you know, them songs that they. But that's why I'm trying to think, like, who else, like, could just. Morgan Wallen is the only country person I could think could do it, and it be crazy good.
Yeah, like headlining himself, it would have to be him, but he definitely would have to.
And he'd had to bring out some people, you know what I mean? But, like, who else? That's what I'm saying. Like, and you know, you definitely know I'm pro hip hop, you know, but like it runs the pop era.
Yeah,
like the media thing.
She has never performed the Super Bowl halftime show. She's been offered it, but she declined it due to her busy schedule and working on her. So she was working on her album records. Remember when she recorded everything? So she get the publishing or whatever. That's when they.
Then I think that's when they gave it to Rihanna after that. I think actually. Possibly.
So let's give score predictions. I'm going Chiefs 35, Eagles 24.
I'm going 24-17 Chiefs.
All right. So
I don't think it's going to be that high.
So Chiefs and the under if you're going with Seneca. Chiefs and the over if you're going with me. You ain't going to make much money on that parlay. So just have a little fun with it either way. But anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this show up?
No. I think that's it. No. We're getting ready to go into a sad sports era, or part of the year where there's nothing going on.
So next week I will be on a cruise. Me and Cole are gonna do a episode about the Mets that'll drop next Thursday. So next week we will have a show because we got to keep this ranking. I got to break the 1,000. Got to get that 999.
Yeah, you're in the top 1,400 right now.
Got to get it. Thanks to MGM, BetMGM. They're a big sponsor, so they're helping me out. I appreciate them for that. But yeah, we'll drop a Mets episode. Hopefully Pete Alonso signs with the Mets before we record that show. We're gonna push it as far as we can. So hopefully we can talk about Pete re-signing. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for being on Sin. And we'll see you next time.